Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 13, lesson 1. We are going to look at the last form of a linear function, and that is point-slope form. By the end of this lesson, I'm hoping that you can write an equation in point-slope form, then convert it to slope-intercept form. So linear functions can be written in 3 different forms. You've seen 2 of them. The first one was slope-intercept form. That was y equals mx plus b. You also saw standard form at the end of week 12, where we did ax plus by equals c. Today, we're going to look at the third form, point-slope form, and it has this general form right there, which we're going to take a closer look at. So point slope form, y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. You should recognize the m. M is slope. The new part is this x1, y1 here. That just represents a point on the line. So point 1 has coordinates x1, y1. So those are just, they're going to be numbers in this. So, and what I want you to see is x1 is positive here. And if you look over right here, there's a negative in front of it. So you're going to see like x minus 5 or something like that. That means that 5 is your positive x value. If one of these values, x1 or y1, is negative, it's going to change up here and become positive because of that negative. Because a negative minus a negative would become like a positive. All right, so let's take a look at this. Identify the slope and the point. So here's the general form, and then here's with some numbers plugged in. So the slope, pretty easy to identify, that's 3. Okay, but the point, x is over by x. So the x coordinate is over by the x variable. And you see negative 5, but that's actually the coordinate positive 5. And then you look at the y coordinate, and that's positive 8. So now let's put that on the graph, right? The equation of the line that passes through the point negative 4, 3 with a slope of negative 2. So there's the point negative 4, 3. Left 4, up 3. And then from that point, I can use my slope of negative 2 and go down 2, right 1. And then just draw my line. Now it looks like it's crossing through negative 5 in my y-intercept. So could I write y equals negative 2x minus 5? Well, it's not guaranteed that that line's going through that exact point. So we need to plug it into our formula, just right here. So let's go ahead and do that. The y coordinate, y minus, well, what's the y coordinate? It's 3. So it's y minus 3 equals, the slope is negative 2. Just plug that in. Parentheses, x minus negative 4. Well, what's minus negative? It's plus. That's where you see plus 4. So y minus 3 equals negative 2x. I'm distributing negative 2 minus 8. Negative 2 times 4, negative 8. Add 3 to both sides to get y by itself. I get y equals negative 2x. The 3 only combines with the negative 8 and gives me negative 5. So in fact, it does go through the y-intercept of negative 5. But we need to do the equation to make sure. Here's another example that I'm going to prove that point. It looks like this one's going through negative 1. But is it? So let's do point slope to find out. So the point that we're going to choose, we can choose either one. We could choose the red point or the green point. If I get to choose, I'm going to take the one that's got positive values. So that's going to be the green point, 6, 4. So we'll write that down. Now I got to find my slope. I'm going to count to find my slope. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so my vertical change is 7. That's the top part of the fraction. And then over to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a horizontal change of 8, which is the bottom part of the fraction. So my slope is 7/8. Plug this stuff in. Y minus y1 is 4 equals the slope of 7/8, x minus 6. Now when I distribute here, I'm going to get some nasty numbers. 7/8 x, 7/8 times negative 6 is actually negative 21 over 4. If you don't know how to do that or you have trouble with that, it's okay. I'm not going to do this too much to you, but it is good to see. And then I add 4 to both sides. I got to get common denominators. That's 4 is like 16 over 4. So I multiply 4 by 4, and that's give me 16. And then the denominator of 1 times 4 is 4. Negative 21 plus 16 is negative 5. And the denominator stays the same. So it looks like it crosses through negative 1, but it doesn't quite. it actually crosses through at -1 1/4, the y-axis. Okay. Now, last thing, word problems. Jackson pays $325 each month on his car loan. After 6 months, he owes $12,400 on his car. How much was the original loan amount? So identify the slope. So the slope is, you see the 325 per month or each month. That's your clue, that dollars per month, that's your slope, but he's paying that. So the loan amount is going down. So that's where the negative comes in. You know that when he's paying that money, it's minus. Identify a point now. So after 6 months, he owes $12,400 on his car. There's a point. At a certain time, he owes a certain amount. We can use that information to write our equation in point slope form. So y minus 12,400 equals the slope of -325, x minus 6. Distribute -325 times x, and then -325 times -6 is positive 1,950. Add 12,400 to both sides, and you get 14,350 for the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where he started, so he started the loan with $14,350, and he subtracts $325 each month. Okay, and that concludes lesson 1.